say I'm going to, and I didn't. So your big umbrella is platinum presenters. And that's an important thing we'll talk about in a minute, but just know that that's kind of your genealogy there, okay? So I'm going to go over, first of all, I'm going to go over kind of what to expect as you get started and, you know, and what you can expect as you really get the ball rolling. And then I'm going to talk to you about your goals for about the first 30 to 90 days as a brand new coach. And then I'm going to go over 10 points that can really get you going, and that literally, like, even as a coach that's been doing this for 6 years, like, this is still what I do consistently, are these 10 points, okay? So first of all, what you can expect, you should have gotten a welcome email from your sponsoring coach, and that should have included, you should also have a Rock the Biz guide, as well as a new Coach Basics information sheet. If you don't have those things, I make sure that they're housed in our in our Biz Builders Facebook page underneath the files. If you can't find them, reach out to your sponsoring coach or reach out to me, and I'll be happy to get those to you or direct you in the right place. You should also have, by this point, been able to figure out what your websites are. Don't stress yourself over, figuring out the perfect profile picture and the perfect, little biography and everything. Like, don't stress over that. That is so minor. And you don't really send your people to your website a lot. Like, I never send people to my website. Okay, I do all the work for them, which we'll talk about. So it's really just, you just kind of have to have it. So if nothing else, go throw up a picture, put your name, what your goals are, and be done with it. Okay, don't focus on that too much. Within the Biz Builders, there is a pinned post in there. And underneath that pinned post is a great information. So that's kind of like if you haven't gotten your welcome email yet, or if you're just really ready to rock and roll and want to keep pushing forward, like, you can go to that pinned post and it will direct you in all different points. One of the things in there is called Rock the Basics. It's a 7-step self-paced training, and it is housed in our Iron Legacy Business Builders. It is a photo album that, if you click on each picture, it has kind of an objective. It gives you information and kind of something that you can do. That is huge to getting started. Like, if you have nothing else with starting your business but that Rock the Basics training and that Rock the Biz guide, you have all the information you need to be 100% honest. Like, you can build a business. I'm going to be real honest. I didn't have any of this when I started. I've been doing this for 6 years. I didn't have any of this stuff. It was kind of, you just figure it out as you went along. In fact, I didn't know what Success Club was until I had been doing the business for 1.5 years, if that tells you anything. So you can do this, I promise, because you have all of the tools and all of the resources available to you. Now, let's say that you've gone through all of that stuff that I just mentioned and you still are just hungry for more. Like, you just want more information. You want to keep pushing. There's actually a corporate training that you can go through that Beachbody gives you. So it's in your back office, and it's a great resource if you ever want to go back in there and check it out. In order to get there, you would log into your online office. Does everybody know how to get to your online office at this point? Yes? Okay, perfect. So you'll log into your online office. You would click News and Training. It's one of the little, in the blue icon, it's News and Training. And you would drop it down and you would click on Training. From there, you would look and it would have like your rank. So you would click on Coach and it'll say like Start Here. And you click on it and you just kind of work your way through. It'll kind of tell you what you should know at this point, give you some videos to watch. But it's really, it's very, very well laid out. It's very simplified. But if you want more, feel free to go in there and you can work through there. Don't get overwhelmed by it though. That's the whole point of me giving you guys, your emails, your Rock the Biz guide. The whole reason that we have that 7-step training is so that you don't get overwhelmed, so that you have it laid out step by step by step for you, okay? All this stuff, this extra stuff is just there so you have it when you're ready and if you want to run with it, okay? Okay, so if you get overwhelmed, take a deep breath, breathe it out, message your sponsor, and be like, I'm getting overwhelmed. Please tell me that I'm okay. And we'll all tell you that it's okay. All right. So your goals within the first of all, we're going to go over your first full month. Your goals are, number 1, to hit Success Club. And we're going to talk about that, so don't worry. Your number 1 is to hit Success Club in your first full month as a coach. So if you signed on, let's say, April 29th, we don't expect you to hit Success Club in April. But for the month of May, your first full 30 days, to hit Success Club, and for 3 months thereafter. And that's really important because that will make you a success starter, which means that you get a free ticket to Summit in 2017. So that's really exciting to be able to do that. Plus, it just shows that you're growing your business. Your second thing is to get your product paid for within that first month. If you're hitting Success Club that first month, you're already getting your product paid for. You're making back enough money to pay for your month long of Shakeology plus some. So that's a really good one. Also, within your first month would be to hit Emerald. You're gonna learn some of this stuff that I'll go over is repeat if you've already done the 7-step. If you haven't done the 7-step, you'll hear it again, which is a good thing. It'll start clicking what all of this crazy verbiage means. So is to hit Emerald, which means that you have 2 other people who are willing to go on this journey with you, either as a business or they just want their product at a discount, but you have 2 other coaches. A lot of times it's a spouse or a family member plus your best friend or whoever. And then after that, the big one is you want to hit Diamond. That's your big goal. People have done it in 30 days. People have done it in 90 days. There's no limit on you. You can do it whenever you want. It's going to be up to you how fast you want to grow. But I'm going to tell you right now, fast is fun and slow is frustrating. So the faster you can move, the more fun you're going to have with it. Because when you start feeling that success, you just kind of want to keep going with it. Okay? All right. Do you have any questions so far? And please don't be shy. You've got to ask me questions or else I don't know to answer them. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Anything yet? No? Okay. So we're going to get started with our 10 points, okay? And I'll pause at the end of each point. So if you have a question, kind of write it down. And then when I pause, go ahead and ask it so that we can make sure that you're comfortable with it, okay? All right. So your very first point is to be connected, okay? To stay plugged in, to be connected, to be engaged. You guys, this is so, so crucial to your success. Not just as a coach, but just even in your fitness journey. If you have not yet been a part of a challenge group, hopefully you're getting ready to join one. And you even see with people having success in their fitness, that's a huge key to success is to be engaged in our challenge groups, to be posting daily, asking questions, to be supporting one another. It's the same thing with your business and with our team pages and things like that. It's just staying engaged in there. Ask questions, comment on people's posts, things like that. Just really delve into that. Because you're in business for yourself, but you are not in this by yourself. That's the beauty of the team that we've created and the culture that we have. We are all here to lift you up, to help each other. I mean, for the love, we're based off of Proverbs 27:17, which talks about iron sharpening iron, right? And that's truly what the culture that we have on our team and what we want to make sure and embrace, okay? So there's different ways to stay plugged in. The team page, like I mentioned, your personally sponsored coaches page, the Iron Legacy Biz Builders page. Those are 2 really crucial things to stay plugged into. Also, as I mentioned at the beginning, you're part of the Platinum Presenters. So, that's another way that you can stay plugged in. They have a website. In our new coach email, we tell you to go ahead and get signed up with that, to do the new coach webinar through them. And there's all kinds of resources on there. So you're never alone. And when I say plug in, that also means plug into all of the resources you have, like Platinum Presenters trainings, like our team trainings that we'll have, all of our team calls. We have 3 team calls right now per month. They are the first and third Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then the second Tuesday of the month at 12 o'clock noon Central Standard Time. So that way you should be able to hit something, right? You should be able to plug into something at some point. Also the National Wake Up Calls. Those are every Monday morning. I believe they're at 10:30 Central Standard Time. I can't vouch for that because I always have to listen to the replay because I'm teaching class during that time. But there is a replay. In fact, I have the podcast on my phone. So I just go back and I listen to the podcast. So you can absolutely do that. But you have to plug into your groups. Golly, I'm sorry, there is a fly that is just buzzing around me. It's not driving me crazy. Sorry, I got so distracted. So, you should be plugged into these groups. You're going to be introduced, in the Rock the Basics, or in the Rock the Basics training. You really want to delve into that, go through that. Step by step, ask questions. That's being connected and plugged into the resources that we have as a team. Okay? Any questions on that? Kind of self-explanatory, right? Okay, second one, PPDS. It's push, play, and drink Shakeology. And this should be every single solitary day. Because guess what your job now is as a Team Beachbody coach? To push play and drink Shakeology every day, and to go a step further and to be sharing that with other people, right? It is not important that you have a shredded six-pack abs, you know, this hard body. Like, that's not important, right? It is not important. And it's also not important to try to know everything about the product. You don't need to know everything about Shakeology in order to share it with other people. You just need to be doing it. The more you do it, the more you are going to feel the change happening, and it'll be easy to talk to people about it. You know, it's funny. I actually was having a conversation with a girl after my class on Monday, and she was talking to me about what I ate and what she should eat because she feels sick during class. And I said, you know, well, this is what I do. She's like, oh, I've got a sample of that sitting on my counter. So we start talking. Long story short, and she's like, you should really sell that. Like, you are so passionate about it. And I was like, should I? Like, maybe I'll think about it. Like, I mean, but I'm that passionate about it because I know what it's done for me. Like, I know, and I can speak from my personal experience. If I didn't have any personal experience, it'd be really, really hard for me to be passionate about something and to want to change other people's lives with it. So it's not about knowing everything. It's about figuring out what your story is with it and sharing that with others. You should commit to a program from start to finish. You know, one of the quick wins that we have, and it's really awesome, is the 3-day refresh. It's a 3-day program, right? So you should, like, for sure be able to finish that one. But that's a quick win that you can start. You can share with people on social media. You can get your friends and family to do it with you. And it's an easy, quick win so that you have something to start offering and sharing with other people. But as you get started with your journey, you need to kind of be documenting your journey. You know, the first time that you get going with this is so important. You do not need to wait until you have an after picture or, you know, in order to start talking to people about it. You will have a story like within your first 7 days. And here's what I kind of talk to people and say that you should be saying within your first 7 days. Okay, so you might want to take a note of this, and this is what I would recommend. First and foremost, you want to make sure, and this is in the Rock the Basics, this is in the pinned post, is that you're telling people that you're open for business. That's first and foremost. Secondly, as soon as you get your program in the mail, it comes in a cute little blue box, right? And it says Beachbody Challenge on it. You can snap a picture with yourself in that box. And all you have to say on social media is, I am so excited to open this box and see what this journey is about to bring. That's all you got to say. Next day, you're going to do your workout, right? And so you post about it. And all you have to say is something like, let's say you're doing 22-minute hardcore. You would just say, I cannot believe that I just got my rear handed to me in 22 minutes. This is going to be crazy, right? Next day. Holy moly, I'm sore. It feels great, but I'm really glad I had some really cool fuel, or, you know, a really cool option to fuel me to get me going for the day. It tastes great. My kids love it, and I'm excited to get going with it. Next day, workouts are still going great. But here, check this out. I had no idea clean eating could be this simple. Snap a picture of your food based on your rations for results, right? Day 5. I am so in love with this program. 5 days in, and I feel this, and this, right? At the end of the 7th day, you can just say something simple like, I've plugged into an incredible support system for my journey, and the first 7 days have been brutal, but absolutely amazing. So I've decided to go all in with this, and I'm taking full advantage of the support. And that's when you can also ask people, like, if you want to do it with me, I would love to have you join me. Don't tell people, like, if you want information, message me. Or here's my link. Go check it out if you want to learn more. People are not going to do that, I promise. If it's not something you would do, don't put that out there for people, right? So make it like that. It's got to be personal to you. People can see a product. They can see 22-minute hardcore. They can see Shakeology. They can see 3-day refresh. They can see a picture of it. They can go to Amazon and they can order it right then and there. They can go to eBay and find it. You know, they can figure out a way to find it cheaper, probably too. But what the difference is going to be is that it's you. You're sharing your story and your experience, and you're willing to bring them on and to do the same thing for them. Okay, so that's kind of how I always recommend transitioning, because people are real hesitant to start posting on social media. And I get it, because I did everything as wrong as you could possibly do when I first started. So I get it. I was that icky salesperson that here's my link, go buy, you know, everything was sunshine and rainbows and Shakeology's the best and you need it, I need it, everybody needs it. And that's not what you want to be. You want to be true and authentic by just sharing your journey with other people and asking them to do it with you. One thing that you can also talk about truly, and talk a lot about the support you're given. I even talk about that on my page still to this day. If I'm feeling just off, like the one thing that I know I have to do is go and post in my groups. So that's going to make me go and push play on that workout, even if I'm kind of feeling like I'd rather stay in my sweats and drink coffee. Like, I'm going to go push play because I've got to go post this picture because I'm getting this incredible support system. Share that with people, right? Because there's a huge difference. We all fall off the wagon. All of us do. But there's a difference. But what makes the difference is those who have that support system, we're able to get back on that wagon a lot easier and a lot quicker than those who don't. So that's a huge part of being a coach, is that support that we offer people, because not everybody has that. People that order this online and they don't ever hear from their coach, they don't get the support. So set yourself apart and really offer that to people. So push play and drink Shakeology every single day. Any questions? No? Any questions on how to start posting on that? Did that make sense? Does that help kind of breaking it down a little bit for you? Okay. All right, number 3 is personal growth, also known as personal development. You guys, this, I am not going to sugarcoat it. This business is not easy. It is not. It is hard. It is tough. You are going to hear no a lot. You're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel like, what am I doing wrong? But y'all, it is the most rewarding, most fulfilling thing you will ever come across. When you get a message that you have changed someone's life, or you just can see it in their eyes, or whatever the case may be, it takes all of those no's and all of that ickiness, it takes it away because you have helped change a life. But in those times when you're hearing no and you feel like you're getting defeated, you've got to be fueling yourself. You have to be filling your cup. Personal development is truly like the X factor in making this business work. You've got to be fueling your soul, whether that is just your mind, right? Helping to change your mindset and just getting uplifted there. Or if it's a specific skill, if you're insecure and you're just struggling, kind of stepping out of the box and starting with something, there's great books out there. Start is a great book for that. Learning how to just stay consistent. The Compound Effect is a great book for that. We have an entire list of books in that Rock the Biz Guide of all different personal development books that our team has recommended. So make sure that you check that out. GoPro is one of the first ones that I always recommend. That's the one, Natalie, that I sent you, and Allison will be on your doorstep tomorrow. And it's a great book to get you going. Yes. Are you liking it, Natalie? Good. Okay. So, like I said, it's a very tough business, but the thing is too, it's very simple. Like, the steps that we do, our vital behaviors, are very, very simple, but it is not easy. So you have to figure out what is going to keep pushing you through when you do face those challenges. And lean on that, and lean on that positive part. Don't focus on the negative. And if you have a tendency to focus on the negative, I'm so excited for you, because this business is going to change your life, because it is going to change your mindset. And I promise, because I'm a completely different person mentally than what I was before I started personal development. Okay. Any questions on that? No. All right, moving on. Number 4. So see, we're almost halfway finished with our points. Events. Events are huge. Now, the thing is, there may not always be an event 5 minutes down the road from you. But I can promise you that, how many quarters? 3 times a year, there is an event within driving distance from you. And that is called Super Saturday or Super Sunday. Here in Dallas, we call it Super Sunday because we always host it on a Sunday. So it's either Saturday or Sunday, depending on where you are. What that is, it's a quarterly event that you have a market council that helps to put that on. And we have guest speakers come in. Sometimes we'll have some of the celebrity trainers at our events. You will learn about new products being launched, new initiatives that are happening. But more than anything, you are embedded in the culture of Beachbody, because you're surrounded by, depending on where you are, it could be 20 to 30 people, or it could be 1,000 people. But you're all there with the same mission in mind, and it's just really cool. So if there's ever an event in your area, you've got to go. The one thing you will hear every successful coach talk about are events, because they're life-changing. You never know when that light bulb is going to go on because you heard someone else say something, or it's just this one little tip that completely changed everything for you. So events are really big. So we've got Super Saturday. Once a year we have Summit. which is in Nashville right now. It's in July this year. It's sold out. You can still get on the waiting list if you want. And everybody's gotten off so far that's gotten on. So if you still want to go, it's at the end of July. And then one of my favorite events is Platinum Edge, and that is here in the Dallas area. And that is in September. I have the, hey Heather, I have the dates posted somewhere, but you can look on Platinum Presenters because it's Christine Dwyer's event that she hosts, and it's incredible. Last year we had, I think about 16 to 18, 16 of us, I think is how many we had here. And it was the most fun. And we got to just chill and hang out after like the day long of learning and just get to know each other. And you're in a room full of, 16 women, and there's no drama. It's all positive. Everybody likes everybody. Everybody's happy. You don't see that very often, so it's just a really cool thing to be a part of. So get to events. They're incredible, and you got to do it. In fact, we had a 4 vital behaviors training here 2 weeks ago, and Susie Walker, who lives down in Houston, she drove up to Dallas, drove up that day or that night. It was from 6:30 to 9:30. It didn't even get over to closer to 10. And she turned around and drove all the way back to Houston that night. It's a 4-hour drive. So, but she knows, she told me, she's like, these are my goals. I have to reach these. And I know that if I'm going to reach those goals, I've got to make sure that I'm getting to this stuff. And she did. So that's just an example of why it's important to get to that stuff. All right. Number 5 is systems. Okay. Systems is a really, really, really big deal. And you're very blessed because you have tons of systems that you can plug into, be it with our team, or even like I mentioned, how you have that team, the corporate-based training on your online site. But like I mentioned a little while ago, fast is really fun. And if you want to grow fast, you've got to plug into systems. You do not need to be reinventing this wheel. It has all been done for you. We luckily have figured out what does not work and what does work. For sure what does not work. We could tell you a million things that don't work. We're always searching to find out still what's really working. But we can for sure tell you what does not work. And not plugging into systems and trying to come up with your own way does not work, I promise. So a little system that I've kind of implemented with my personally sponsored, and I think several other coaches on the team have, it's a system called I do, we do, you do. And the way that is the I do is I'm going to lead something and I'm going to kind of show you the ropes on how this is. Then the next step is we're going to do it together. We're going to partner, we're going to team up, and we're going to run this thing together. And then after that, you now have the confidence that you can go and you can rock this and you can do it on your own. An example, for instance, is challenge groups, okay? So I always run a free 5-day group. It's usually the last week of the month. For the month of May, it's going to be May 23rd. That way we can get ready for a Memorial Day. And I invite any of my personally sponsored coaches to do that with me, especially the brand new ones, okay? I want you guys in there with me. And you will invite all of your people, as many people as you can, you will invite to get into that group. Once you have people in that group, we are going to do this 5-day free challenge group. I'll do the work. I'll give you a couple of posts to do so that you can make sure that you're showing your face and being involved, right? And then from there, we'll transition into a paid challenge group. And then we're going to share responsibility. I'll post one day, you'll post one day. You'll post certain things. You're going to make sure you're super involved in that group. You're doing the workout along with them. You're posting your sweaty selfies. After that, you know how it works. You can go run your own free 5-day because you have all of the documents, because we literally have an entire Google file of every post that we make, every picture that we use, the pictures we use to start advertising for it on our Facebook. You have everything in a beautiful little pretty package that's handed to you. So from that point on, you can go and run your own free group. And do you have to do it like we do? Absolutely not. If you want to run a free group on how to clean your house, run a free group on how to clean your house, figure out what it is that you love and some value that you can offer to someone. And that's the whole concept behind that. But nonetheless, that's kind of the system that we do there. So it's like I mentioned at the beginning, not to get overwhelmed. You guys, being overwhelmed with a system like that is totally a choice because it is all laid out for you. You have the steps, you have everything you need. And so if you start to get overwhelmed, that's your choice. Don't choose it. Choose to take these little bite-sized pieces and go with what we're teaching you and what we're feeding you versus trying to just, run and run and run, and then you're scattered all over the place. We want you to run with it, but we don't want you to be overwhelmed with it. Okay? Deal? All right. And we'll also talk about kind of how to invite and things like that. That's all in that Rock the Basics stuff, and then we can talk about that even more as you go on. So number 6, any questions first of all on the systems? Does that make sense, what I said? Like just getting really, that kind of goes back to the beginning too, though, just getting plugged in. Like stay plugged in with the system. Don't try to reinvent. We even have templates on how to invite people to a challenge group. Like I have a full on, like we've got scripts coming out the ears. So we've got, you're good. All right, number 6, to treat this like a business. I want you guys to think about this for a second. And this is really, it's 100% true. And it's really awe-inspiring if you think about it. So you probably invested, you know, less than $200 to start this business, right? You probably bought a challenge pack, just a single program challenge pack. So probably, I would say even around $140, $160 if I were a betting woman. And you have the potential, you have the access to $1 million business just by investing that $140, $200 to $200, right? That's what you have the access to here. Now, I want you to also think about if you had a brick and mortar building, right? A storefront business that you were running. If you did not show up to that business, would you expect to make an income? Would you expect money to come to you? No. So a lot of times we start thinking that we can just not show up and that this is that whole network marketing thing and we're just going to make a lot of money overnight and it's just going to happen. We don't have to do anything with it. For some reason, and we've all fallen into that trap. Trust me, I have, you know, but it's just like any other business. It's a fun business. We're blessed because it's fun, but it's just like any other business. If you don't show up consistently, you will not succeed. So you've got to treat it just like any other business, okay? That doesn't mean you have to be working 8 to 10 hours a day on it. It does not mean that. It's just getting consistent in your activities, which I'll help you. We'll go through those activities, okay? All right, so first of all, you want work hours. You've got to set them. Don't worry about what you're going to do within those work hours, but you need to look at your calendar based on your daily schedule. You know, if you are a mom who homeschools her kids, you need to figure out where in that day. Is it going to be before the kids get up that you've got to figure out, you know, an hour to 2 hours that you can work? Is it only, are you a full-time working mom? So you have your lunch hour and like that's legit all the time you have. Or does it mean you might have to start staying up an hour after the kids go to bed now as to where you used to not? You know, where is that time going to fit in? Figure it out. Find it on your calendar and block that time off and nothing interferes. Just like if you had a storefront business, you would show up to that business at your set hours. It's the same thing. So don't worry about what you're going to put there. You just have to figure out when you're going to fit in those activities. Because this is the thing, you can't just try to fit it in whenever is just kind of convenient. And I'm here to tell you because I do it all the time and I fail when I do it. If I'm at a stoplight and I decide to check my messages and it's either from a coach or from a customer and I start to respond, I'm not going to remember to go back and follow up with those people. And guess what's going to happen to them? They're going to slide through the cracks because I'm not going to be sitting down where I have my tracking system at my computer and they're going to fall through the cracks. And you don't want to do that. You want to start setting yourself up in good habits and don't just be trying to do stuff randomly on the fly. Just stick with those business hours. Before you have the what to do, you need to have the when so that you can fill it out. And I'll tell you, when you have less time, you can actually be way more productive. Think about it like our workouts. Like, holy cow, we've gotten down to 22-minute workouts. Are you kidding me? Like they used to be, you know, P90X yoga, I think is an hour and a half, right? And now we've got 22-minute hardcore. So think about it as a workout. You can work out for an hour and a half, 2 hours at a gym, kind of walking around or, you know, running or whatever. But if you can bust your butt for 20 to 30 minutes, you are going to get such a better workout and such better results than you are just kind of hawing around for a couple of hours. It's the same thing in your business. If you can be laser focused for, you know, 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, whatever that looks like for you personally, you're going to be so much more successful with this. And don't wait to learn everything before you start implementing, right? I think we all fall into that trap of you're just going to try to figure it out. You're going to go through every single training before you even tell anybody you're a coach. You're going to, you know, wait till you've been doing it for like 6 months to make sure you really know every ingredient that is in Shakeology and everything that it's about before you ever talk about it. You do that and you're going to be waiting forever and you're never going to start a business. You just have to start. You just have to do, because you're going to fail. You're going to fail. I fail every single solitary day. I fail in some way or another. But whoever applies these things the most and screws up the most, you're going to be the one that wins in the end. I promise. You're going to be the one to advance and to run with it. So you've really got to treat this like a business. It doesn't have to be a full-time business, but it is your new business. Okay. Any questions on that? I'm going to do a blitz soon on a power hour and time blocking within our team page. And it'll just be like a 5-day training type of thing for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. And hopefully that'll help out a little bit too. Okay. All right. Number 7, working off of a list and expanding your network. I wish I would have started expanding my network when I first started this business. And unfortunately, I didn't. And what happened, so I didn't teach my coaches to do that because I didn't learn that and I didn't know to do that. So what happens is when you first start, you have all of these friends and family. You know, you're talking about this new workout that you're doing. You're excited about it. They're excited. They're like, oh, I want to do it. And you start seeing like you're doing really great, right? You're rocking this thing. And then about like 30 to 60 days in, you're like, oh my God, I don't know anybody. I have no one else to add. Everybody I know I've already talked to. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. My business is over. Like, there's no way I can keep doing this because I don't even know anybody, right? And so then you start going down. And that's not at all how it should be. It should continuously be, I mean, it's not ever going to be here, but it should continuously be at this incline as far as your network. So a few things about how to, and this is touched on in your Rock the Basics training. So this will be a repeat. So a couple of ways to start expanding your network. And what I mean by expanding your network is adding 2 to 3 people every single day to your friends list, you know, on Facebook, or if you're on Instagram, if that's where you choose to grow. Wherever you choose to grow, that's what you want to focus on. And I'm going to use Facebook, for instance, because I'm terrible at Instagram. I'm the most inconsistent person on Instagram that there possibly could be. So I'm going to talk about Facebook because that's kind of my jam. So with Facebook, for instance, a couple of things you can do is you can join groups. Like, for instance, I like peanut butter, right? Like, I love peanut butter. So I would search a group for, you know, busy moms who love peanut butter and go and see what I can find. And chances are there's a page out there that talks about moms and peanut butter, or there's a group that's out there for moms and peanut butter. Or if you are a homeschooling mom, search for groups of homeschooling moms. Let's say you love dogs. Pick whatever kind of dog that you have that you love and join a group about that. And you just kind of start building relationships. You know, you start commenting on people's posts. You start interacting with people, and then you add them as a friend. That doesn't mean you go and you start talking to them about Beachbody that day. You just add them as a friend. You start letting them see your life. You start getting to know them, and it's expanding that network. Because as your network expands, there's so many things that can happen from that. And, you know, I was just witness to that literally today. There's a girl that I don't even know how we ended up becoming friends on Facebook, but we did several years ago. She's been in some of my free groups. She's never joined a challenge group. I've asked her several times, and today she finally joined. But had I not expanded that network and just, you know, added that friend and her following me and just being able to see daily my consistency and what I do, never would have happened, right? So you've got to make sure that you're consistently adding 2 to 3 people every single day to your network. Another thing is just being a citizen of the world, whether that means joining different play groups, joining a Bible study at your church, whether that means talking to people in line at Target. Like, that doesn't mean you have to sit there and sell them a challenge pack in the line at Target. Like, that just means be nice, smile, you know, see the good in people, find the good that's in this world, and start just exuding that, and people will be attracted to you, I promise. And your network will start to grow. And then when you need to reach out and you're like, oh my gosh, I need one more Success Club point, these people are going to trust you, and you can reach out to them and you can offer them something, and you're building that trust, you're building that relationship. For working off of a list, there is an exercise in the Rock the Basics group, and I highly recommend you go through that. It's the memory jogger exercise, and there's actually a document in your back office that you can go to and find as well, and it's called the memory jogger, and it's back there in the news and training. You'll find it in some of the training documents, and it just helps you kind of start making your list. In addition to that, we have something that some of us have recently ran into, and it's called Teamzy, Teamzy. And this helps you manage all of this. You get a free 30-day trial. It's teamzy.com. You get a free 30-day trial. You upload all of your Facebook friends into this list or into this program. And it tells you who to connect with on a daily basis. So you log into TeamZ on Monday and it pops up, here's your 5 people that you need to connect with today. You just shoot them a message, you copy and paste what you wrote in there, and you move right along. And it's so cool because this little circle like fills in, so you feel like you've accomplished like so much for that day. It's fantastic. But that's just so you know, like there's resources like that that are available to y'all. And that are out there. So, and all of that again is in the Rock the Basics, so you can find it in there. Any questions on that, on the list and expanding your network? I know that's where a lot of people get stumped. Truly, like a lot of people get stumped that they feel like they don't know anyone and they don't know where else to go. And so this is a big one. And if you can get in the habit of it now, like as a brand new coach, can you imagine in like 2 years how much larger your network will be? It's crazy. And if you have this network, they're going to be watching you and seeing what you're doing. And that's why being consistent is so important. I'm going to talk about that but in just a second, but it's so important. Okay. Number 8. So this is where we're going to talk just a little bit about social media, okay, and how you can use it to expand a bit. Your goal with social media is to add value every single day. Like that's your only job, is to add value through social media every single day. You want to be posting at least 2 times a day on social media, at least 2 times. That does not mean it needs to be all fitness related, but you guys, the more that you're posting, Facebook is really weird with these algorithms that they have and how they choose when your post is going to be seen and who it's going to be seen by. I mean, it's just crazy and it changes all the time. So you've got to get in the habit of making sure that you're posting twice, at least 2 to 3 times a day. And that way people are seeing what you're doing and they're following your journey, and you never know. You never know when it's going to be the right time for them. And they're going to see that post that you've made about this workout, and they're going to be sick of how they feel and they're ready for a change. And you're going to be the person they reach out to because they remember seeing your posts day after day after day and about how your life is changing and things are better. I'm not telling you to be fake and be all sunshine and rainbows. I'm not telling you that. Be real, but you want to be positive and you want to be that person that people come to. The thing with social media, and I talked about this a little bit ago, is you don't want to just throw your link up there and tell people to go buy, right? You want to give value on social media. You want to sell and give people your link in a private message. So that's offline. So let's say that you're talking about something, you're talking about your challenge group, and someone comments like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. How much is it? Well, that's not where you're going to have that conversation. You're going to say, oh, I'll message you and we'll talk. That's when you take it to a personal message and you talk to them about the details of it. Okay. Kind of like I talked about, you need to pick what is going to be your thing and go for it. If Facebook is not your thing, don't feel pressured to do Facebook. If Instagram is your thing, go all in with it. Nail it. If you know how Instagram works and you know how you can develop relationships on there, go for it. I can't develop a relationship on Instagram to save my life. I don't know what it is. So that's why I just choose to stay with Facebook. I do Instagram, but it's just, I'm terrible. I don't know what the deal is. But social media is huge. And it's like I talked about a minute ago with expanding your network. If you really want to continue to expand your business, you're going to have to figure out, where you want to go with your social media. Okay. And some people ask, well, should I do a like page or should I just do all my personal page? Like, how do I know when the right time is? What do I do? Should I do it? And my answer to you is to start with your personal page. If you don't already have a like page, start with your personal page and get in these good habits. Get in these habits of adding the 2 to 3 people a day, posting 2 to 3 times a day. Get in those really good habits. Start feeling out and finding out how to post, because at first you're probably going to fumble all over your words. So once you really start getting the hang of it and get the knack for it, that might be when you're ready to open a like page. And at that point, when you have a like page, there's a couple of great things that can happen there. You can post about product all day long if you really want to. I never would if I were you, but I'm just saying, like, you could, because people choose to follow you on that page. And secondly, you can, if you're ready to invest a little bit of time and some money even, a Facebook like page is a really great thing because you can run ads through there. You can start learning all kinds of stuff in the insights when people are looking at your page, who's looking at your page, how old are they, all different kinds of demographics. So it is a cool thing to have, but get used to it first. Don't try to do too much as you get going. Okay, don't put that pressure on yourself. It's not worth it. All right. Any questions about social media? Social media is a big, big animal. All right, number 9. We're almost there. We're doing good. All right, 2 to 5 exposures per day or more. I want you to understand there is only one thing that you can control in this business. One. And that is how many people you put this in front of every single day, right? You have no control over if they say yes or no. You have no control over their finances and if it's going to be the right time for them. You have no control over if someone is going to lose the weight or not. You cannot be there pushing play for them and making them move their body. You cannot force them to follow the nutrition plan that you help support them with. Like, you don't have control over any of those things. But what you do have control over is putting this in front of people. So you want your goal to be 2 to 5 exposures or 2 to 5 contacts per day. Remember, I just talked about Teamzy. It's an excellent way to get your contacts. They even have little scripts in there too. So that just means reaching out and connecting with people. Like, you can connect with people all day. There's also a system that you're going to learn in the Rock the Basics called A to Z system that you can use on Facebook if you choose not to use Teamzy. And it's a great way to go through your Facebook friends and just start reaching out to people, connecting with them, saying hi, commenting on their pictures. You know, think about when someone comments on your picture. Does that automatically kind of make you like them a little bit? You're like, oh, they said hi. Like, yes, it gives you that warm feeling. So do that for other people because they're going to notice that. They're going to start noticing that. And then chances are they're going to start liking your pictures, right? And that connection is going to be made. So you have the systems there to figure out how to make these connections daily, but you just have to commit to doing the daily activity. So you've got to do those 2 to 5 connections every single day. Deal? Okay. Last point, okay? Very last point, number 10. I want you to commit tonight. I want you to make a commitment to yourself first and foremost. I don't care if you commit to me, you know, but I want you to commit to yourself that you will be here 1 year from today. So May 11th, 2017, you will still be here. Because it's like I said earlier, this is not going to be easy. It's not, you are not going to make $1,000 tonight. You're just not. I wish I could give you $1,000 and say you did it, but it's just not going to happen. But I promise you guys, this is a fail-proof system. It is fail-proof. It will work. If you do not go anywhere and you consistently start doing the activities, yeah, you're going to probably go in lulls. I go in lulls all the time. I've been in one this week. So I've been down here, but you know what happens? That down peak is not nearly as low as what it used to be because that bar keeps being raised, right? The more you grow your business, you grow your network, you do all of these things. When you hit that low and people are saying no, it's not quite as low as what it used to be. It kind of gets a little bit higher, which means also your highs are much higher, okay? But you've got to stay the course. You have to give yourself grace. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna hear no. And you've got to give yourself that. But the thing is, at the end of the day, why would you ever stop doing a great workout program, stop drinking Shakeology and really focusing in on your personal nutrition? Why would you ever not want to be a part of an awesome support system? Why would you not want to do personal development and get better yourself? Like, why would you ever want to stop those things? You know, at the very, very least, do those things for you, right? Don't quit on you more than anything. And Jimmy Hayes Nelson, he's a pretty successful coach within the network. And he made this comment on a webinar that I listened to one time. And it was so powerful that he said, you are a weapon. And it's so true. You are a weapon. And you can have real impact, but weapons are totally useless until they're launched. So you can go out and you can make this huge impact on people, or you can stay right there in your comfort zone and hide behind your computer and be scared and be nervous and not ever share what you're doing with people. And you will never be able to impact and touch other people's lives. But when you're ready to change lives, I promise you, you'll be a little bit more willing to step out of that comfort zone. Okay? Are there any questions on all of that? I know it's a lot of information. This is going to be, like I said, it's recorded, so you can go back and listen to it at any time. But do you have any questions that kind of popped up while we were going through all of this? Do you feel like a deer in the headlights right now? A little bit. It's okay. It's okay. One thing that you'll learn, and this is in the Rock the Basics, we talk a lot about our 4 vital behaviors, and that's basically what you're going to do within, we call it a power hour. So let's say that you literally have 1 hour a day that you're able to commit to this business. there's 4 things that you do within that hour. I personally don't do my workout within my power hour or my personal development within my power hour. Those are different. Like I do those at a different time. Within my power hour, that's when I'm doing my inviting, my follow-ups, and my connecting with people. Okay, so how we talked about earlier, blocking out time. So you want to block out a time. When are you going to do your workout every day? Like I have mine in pink at 7 o'clock a.m. across every day of the week. And I even have the workout written in, even though it's right up there on my calendar. Like I put it on my planner, so I know. That fly is back. And then put, and I do my personal development first thing in the morning. Like I get up before the household is up, and that's when I read my Bible and I do my personal development, because that's going to start my day great. I can't do it at night because then my brain is so excited and fired up that I can't ever go to sleep. I used to do it trying to go to sleep and it didn't work. So I do mine in the morning. But then like when I sit down to actually do my power hour, it's income producing activities. So it's connecting, it's inviting, it's following up. Okay. That's what you want that power hour to be. And you're going to learn that, go through that 7-step training. And as soon as you finish that 7-step Rock the Basics, please reach out to your coach. Like, hey, I just finished this. Set up a one-on-one call with them. Get questions answered. Keep a list of questions you have as you go through that. That's what we're here for. So you've got to use your upline and the support that you have. Okay? All right, so who's going to be here 1 year from now? I can promise you I am. I don't know. Anyone else going to be here a year from now? I'm going to be by myself. That's going to suck. Okay, commit to it. I promise it's worth it. All right? And I'm here. If you guys need anything, I'm here. You've got an incredible team that's here for you guys. So reach out if you need anything, okay? Thank you all so much for making the time tonight. I appreciate it. And I hope that it helped your business, okay? All right. Bye, you guys. Have a